Silent testament to Vietnam's dark past. Conjoined twins and malformed fetuses stand on the shelves of a Ho Chi Minh city hospital. Since the end of the Vietnam War, known here as the American War, extraordinarily high numbers of malformations and birth defects are still being recorded. The relentless bombing campaign across South Vietnam did not achieve its objectives. With the enemy still at large, hidden in the dense jungle cover, the Americans devised a far more insidious weapon: chemicals.
We hear people yelling about chemical warfare, and I ask you, what is chemical warfare? They're doing it in Colombia right now. We're spraying all over Colombia to kill marijuana, kill the cocos. So you have to ask yourself, what is chemical warfare? What is the legal? We know what the legal term is, but what is the moral term of it? What do you do when you spray 20 million gallons of chemicals? If that isn't chemical warfare, I don't know what is. So you can name it whatever you want to. It's still chemical, and it's still sprayed, and it's still warfare.
The chemical war did not end with the silence of the guns. It continues to poison Vietnam and her people, 34 years after the withdrawal of the American forces.
I don't know how to explain the feelings I had the moment I saw my son after he was born. Some people said I should leave him at the healthcare centre, but I had to take my son home. I knew I had to look after him well.
When my granddaughter was born, she looked quite normal, and we thought we had no problems. But after 6 months, she couldn't sit, and we realized that something was wrong with her arms and legs. And then we realized that she wasn't normal at all.
My dream is that I want to become a painter or a writer, but it is just a dream, because I'm not a normal child.
We believe that Vietnam is, unfortunately for the Vietnamese people, a good laboratory to determine the effects of dioxins on humans.
Dioxin is the planet's most deadly substance. It is 100,000 times stronger than any poison found in nature. And for 8 years, the Americans relentlessly sprayed this toxic chemical all over South Vietnam.
When I first saw the spraying, I thought that it was fog or mist. But you know, at the same time, I could still see the sunset, so I knew it couldn't be mist. After this, I got some information and was told that it could be toxic chemicals.
When we saw the mist of chemicals falling from the sky, we saw it cover the trees in the forest. We tried to use anything to protect us. We used our own towels, and if we had water, we made them wet to protect our mouths. And when we did not have any water, we used our own urine. We used the towels to cover our faces. We tried to face away from the wind direction.
In a way, under the spraying operation, I have to move every 2 or 3 months to another place because the deflation, they can move out. So I have to move to another place, and I have to transport our patients from the battlefield to my hospital.
You know, nearly all the highways, like Highway 1, would be sprayed. Anywhere you had a military base, such as Dong Ha, Quang Tri, Can Tien, any place would be sprayed, and it was to kill off the vegetation. Along the Lao-Cambodia border was heavily sprayed, so we could see from the air anybody that was moving down there. It was also to kill the rice, to eliminate them having any food for the Viet Cong.
We saw with our own eyes how all the trees fell down, and we knew it was bad. After this, the US Air Force also used napalm bombs to burn away all the dead trees. We then realized this was their tactic, to clear the land and see the infantry, but we didn't realize we'd be affected so badly.
I didn't know anything about Agent Orange. Right. I had never heard of Agent Orange. Yeah. I just knew these planes would fly over sometimes and spray us when we were out in the bush. And we'd get that oily stuff on it, and you would taste it, and you could see it in the water. No, I didn't have a clue what it was.
In my hospital, he received 1,000, is a 1,000 bed hospital. So I have 1,000 patients in my hospital. But most of them are from malaria. And I realized later that maybe the increased rate of malaria maybe is linked also to dioxin. When I learned that dioxin get to change to the immune system.
Agent Orange is not a story of the past. Its devastating toxic effects are still evident today. Not only are war veterans suffering, but so too are the children, many born with horrific and unusual birth defects. Scientists here are adamant this is a direct result of dioxin poisoning, but the US refuses to recognize this link and thus continues to deny responsibility for the chemicals they sprayed.